Hey, and welcome to our first Mom Talk. I'm Jen, and
I'm Tanya.
We have been best friends our entire lives since I was 6 months old.
Yeah.
3 months old? 3 months old.
No, you were 6 months old and I was 3 months, right?
January, March.
Oh, that's right.
Anyways, our kids, I think, are 6 months. Or are they 9 months?
6
9
months.
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
They're 6 months because it's March to September.
That's right.
It's okay. We can do math.
Anyways, so we're really excited. We just want to put together a little bit of a video podcast where we just talk and hang out, and we want to invite you to join us. And so we've got our hot drink. I'm drinking Neocitrin, and
I got myself some decaf coffee because, you know.
Lord and Lady decaf coffee.
Ooh.
It's very good. And so I hope that you enjoy joining us on this journey. We're putting ourselves out there, and we're going to see where it goes. So we plan on talking about ourselves, about things that are important to us, like family, faith,
Mental health.
parenting in general, and just
tricky.
whatever is kind of going on in our lives. So welcome. All right, so
How'd you rope me into this, Jen?
well, we just got over having COVID. Both of our families.
Yay! Congratulations!
Got
we tested
hit.
positive.
Yep. So we were in quarantine for. You guys did 10 days. We did 12 because I didn't test positive right away.
She was a little slower than us, but that's okay.
Yep.
We still love you.
And during our quarantine, we did a lot of video calls back and forth and talking, and I just really enjoyed it. And so I kind of just said to her the other day, I want to do a podcast. And
I did not know that included a video. Just want to throw that out there, But
she said yes, and right away. And one of the things you'll learn about Tanya is she is a processor. So it takes, usually you put an idea out there and you let it sit for a while and then it develops and grows. But she was like, whoa.
So I have to say, though, it's because Jen is really good at flying by the seat of her pants and just jumping in, getting on board and doing stuff. So she said, do you want to do this podcast? And I was like, well, I talked to her anyway, so I might as well talk to her and other people can listen. And I figured if I don't have to do a lot of work, I'll just trail on and she'll carry me through. Again, I did not realize it was video, but that's okay. We're trailing on and she's pulling me through. So I didn't have a lot to process because I like talking to you and
I like talking to you.
I was good with that. So
very cool. So I thought this week we would introduce ourselves, and so I'll start. I just turned 36 years old in January. I'm married, and we have 4 kids, ages 9, almost 10, 8, 3, and a 1-year-old. So we have an extremely busy house here. I am a teacher by trade, and I teach at my children's school, and that's a little bit about me.
So I am 35, so much younger than she is, but I will be turning 36 in about a month. And I've been married for 17 and a half years. And I have 2 kids, one aged 9, that's my eldest, and one aged 5, and he'll be 6 soon, I guess. Ooh, it's weird. And I'm a child and youth worker, and currently I'm at our church doing the kids program and overseeing that. So yeah.
So that's who we are. We both have various mental health issues, which is real fun.
Yay!
I'm hooray for mental health.
Hooray for friends that help you through those times.
Yes. So I'm not entirely sure what my issues are.
No, just joking.
I think that I suffer from anxiety, but in looking into that, I am pretty sure I have ADHD. So we're actually in the middle of chatting with our family doctor about the possibility of that. And it's actually a really exciting thing for me. My kids, my oldest two, have been diagnosed with ADHD. And the more I study about that to help them in their lives, the more I have been understanding about my own kind of journey and why I do things and why things bother me and why I can't do certain things and why I excel at other things. So it's been really cool, and I'm really looking forward to kind of getting some answers and seeing if there's kind of some direction out there for me.
I think that's the important thing, though, is that you realize that, okay, so there's some mental health differences or however you want to call it, but those are also your areas of gifting. And as we've joked about, that's your superpower. Being ADHD and being able to, her brain goes all over, but she's able to pick up on so many things in a room. And I think it's really important to see that as like, God has still created your brain, and yes, we need to support and help, and there's doctors, thankfully, that can help us through that. But it's also a part of who you are, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
My daughter also has ADHD, and she has lots of energy, and it's been very important to us from the beginning to talk about her energy in a positive way, that it is there's a lot of jobs where you need a lot of energy, and it's a good thing. And it doesn't mean she doesn't need support or help from professionals, but we want it to be a positive thing. And often our area of weakness is also our gifting as well. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And myself, I've struggled with depression and anxiety as long as I can remember. And I've had different points in my life of kind of not realizing I had it and kind of, no, I'm fine, and kind of bandaging. And then I guess probably for the last at least 15 years or more, like, okay, yeah, I have this, and dealing with it. And there's always times where I feel like I have everything under control, and then it kind of comes, the ugly head of depression comes up. And isolation was one of those things, not in an intense way, but it was so hard, like just feeling like you're almost trapped in your own home. And I don't want to make it into a big deal, because I know there's many people who are shut-ins and in their home a long time, but going from somebody who can't handle being in their house for a full day to 10 days of not going out your front door. Like I said to my husband, I asked him to take the lock off the top of the door and leave it open, because even just that lock across was like, you're stuck in here. Wow. You're trapped. And like, I was walking around my house the one afternoon, like panicking, like trying to breathe and stuff, because it affects the mental. It affects you mentally, for sure.
Absolutely. If you have not done isolation, whether it's 5 days or 10 days or more, I definitely do not wish that upon anyone.
It was worse than the COVID symptoms.
Oh, 100%. I have definitely told a few people that I didn't like being sick with COVID. It did not feel good, but hands down, the way that it messed with my mind was the worst part of it.
And what are some things that were coming up with that?
Oh, well, I mean, there was you'd start to feel better, and then you would just be like exhausted and coughing.
Hit a wall.
And that was really hard.
Tired.
Like I kept thinking, oh, okay, I'm better, and then I wasn't. And then just being like, I struggle with control issues, and part of my identity is what I do, and so pulling me away from my job and my routine and everything that felt comfortable. I mean, it wasn't like being in my house was terrifying for me or anything, but just being cut off from everything. And I can see like the teacher chat on my phone as to what's going on at school, and I'm not part of it. And that was like, there's just so much that was just so difficult to just kind of watch and be cut off. And there was a few moments where I was like having kind of an identity crisis as to who I was, because I just couldn't go to church. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go
Yeah.
Pick up books from the library. Like, there was just nothing I could do. It was really hard.
And you're a fairly social person as well. And I mean, we love our kids, but having a social conversation with them versus a peer or somebody else is different. It fills different needs. And so that can be hard. And then also you have a husband who is sick as well. So he's not maybe able to meet those needs in conversation as well because you're both not feeling well.
Exhausted.
And yeah, it's a lot. And the support system isn't there as it normally would be, right?
Yeah, it certainly looks different. And especially, like, some people are fueled by withdrawing and having those quiet times, and that fuels them to kind of continue. But I find that being alone for me drains me. It's very difficult. And at any time that I've wanted to be very intentional about being by myself, whether it's like devotions or like trying to write and reflect, like that's actually really hard for me. I feel much more invigorated when I am with a group of people and we're talking and spontaneously sharing ideas. And so having 12 days where it was, us on video chat and that's about it. Like, I definitely appreciated the video chats for sure.
I find I refuel by having downtime and by myself time. And I don't know if as I get older, I've been able to refuel quicker in those downtimes. But like if I was at an event all day, I would be extremely drained. Even though I am outgoing and love being around people. But still, having too much of the downtime, it just goes, I need somebody else to talk to other than this up here. So it just circulates in your mind. And so it's interesting as somebody who's fuels by introversion and fuels by extroversion, how that, that still is different and still was a challenge for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, that has been our story so far.
Yeah.
We're trying, so I mentioned earlier that our oldest two have been diagnosed with ADHD. And so our pediatrician recommended a book for us that we've been kind of picking at here and there. And one of the things that we're committing to over the next little while is we're going to try, it had a behavior modification section. And so I'm really excited about that. It's an 8-week program. And the first 4 are for the adults. So my husband and I are committing to kind of making some changes in our behavior in the way that we speak and respond.
It kind of makes me think of Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. It's the people's behavior that he's changing first, and then the dogs follow.
Yes,
not that your children are dogs, but
no. But the book says don't expect any behavior changes in the first 4 weeks. This is about you. Yeah. So,
but I'm also interested how that will benefit you in your own journey of being diagnosed, and if that will bring some routine and comfort for you as well. So, So what was the first thing you had said?
So I have, because I can get overwhelmed with all the details, I've actually only read the first week because I'm like,
good.
That's where we're at.
I'm proud of you. That's really good, actually.
So don't ask me any other questions.
No, that's good.
But the first week is all about being intentional about spending time with your child.
Very cool.
And so they were saying, like, this needs to be one-on-one time. It can't be like the 2 or 3 kids together with you.
Not a 3-shot deal there. It's like, okay.
No.
Yeah.
But they say 20 minutes is... Yeah. So I'm like, you know what, that's kind of doable. They really... the book encourages you to do it every day, striving for 4 to 5 days in the week. Mm-hmm. But I really like the way it's written because it's like, listen, anything you do is better than nothing.
Some grace. We all need grace with what we try and do, right?
Yeah. I really like that.
Important.
So that's what we're working on this week, is spending some intentional time one-on-one with our kids. And when we play with them, they're supposed to lead the play, and then we observe what they're doing. You're making a tower. It's 5 blocks tall. That's awesome. And kind of just praising and...
That's awesome.
Engaging by observation. And
sounds very child and youth work you're like.
I bet it is.
It really does.
So,
sure.
Yeah.
Engagement through play, yes.
I'm hoping that, it can really modify the way that I naturally respond. And just by, it's talking a lot about it's strengthening the relationship, right?
Yeah.
And as a teacher, I know that the best classroom management happens through relationships.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it makes complete sense to me that we're just deepening the relationship that we already have with our kids. And so I'm very excited. Today's only Monday, so today was the first day.
Yay! How'd it go?
I didn't spend any time with the kids one-on-one.
But hey, you did spend time bathing them.
I did bathe them, and that's about it. I took James with me to work today.
And Scott was playing with them some car racing
Scott's
games.
done really well.
So that was kind of cool, and it might be that, right? Where it's like him one day and you another day or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's done a good job. He read the chapter, and
that's cool.
I loved his favorite question though. It was it says that you have to choose an activity, and then in brackets it says not TV because that's a non-activity.
He's like, no. I'm a streamer. I'm a gamer. That is not accurate information.
He says, do you think video games count? And I said, I actually think video games are an activity.
Yeah.
I think that TV is a non-activity because you just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
But video games, you're interacting together.
It's true. Yeah. Especially if you're playing those kind of race car games and kind of things and having fun. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So we're a big video game family. Not really me, but I like my phone games.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big video game player. But the rest of my family is. My husband does streaming when he plays his
Born
video
Again
games.
Gamer.
Born Again Gamer. Give him a shout out.
Yeah.
You guys aren't really.
We aren't. Brian has gone through phases. I don't even know if he's gone through a video game phase since the kids have been born. But before that, because we were married about 9 years before we had our daughter, and he would go through phases where he'd bring up the Xbox and all the videos, and we still have it downstairs. We have a Wii and different things like that, but we just never really get into it. But I know during isolation, my son saved up enough money to get a tablet, and so he purchased a tablet, and on my daughter's technology and my husband's technology device, they all downloaded a certain game, and it was like Off-Road. It's a car game or something, and then they all meet up in their world and
On their own devices.
That's awesome. And play and find ways up the lighthouse. I don't know, but they're enjoying it and having fun. A few times I had to send them to the basement because my daughter is quite loud, and it was just like, it's like, oh, too much.
Overstimulation.
Yeah. We've talked about that too, about like getting, like, you guys just came out of isolation, but I've had the weekend and like going out and just feeling exhausted. Like it's that other side of it, of that like overstimulation and people. And we've been sitting around doing basically nothing for 10 days. And so your body has to adjust to getting up and going and doing things. And that's another thing, to try to have grace with yourself and have a nap. Or not you. She doesn't nap. I nap. But yeah, so
it's a big joke that I don't nap. My husband likes to nap. Tanya
I
likes to nap.
My husband likes to nap.
I don't.
Jen does not like to nap. But she likes downtime watching TV.
Yes.
That would be your...
Which is so ADHD, right?
Yeah.
Like that my downtime comes from
Yeah.
watching TV.
Well, it's the same cadence. My daughter is watching DIY videos and different things like that. And we'll, like, if she's getting really overwhelmed or like, and it sounds funny, but overstimulated, we'll say, do you need some video time? And she'll go and take some video times, even if it's 15 minutes or so. And it just allows her that step back of not having to respond to other people, and just to be able to click on the video that she wants to watch, whether it's cake decorating or all these crafty things that I don't do with her because I'm not crafty.
No guilt for that.
Yeah,
though. No guilt.
It's like, go to grandma.
Well,
Grandma will help you with that.
And that's the best though. Like when
Yeah.
there's specific places, like when my oldest were really little, and I was able to go to playgroups.
Playgroups were helpful.
I just loved playgroups
Yeah.
because I hate the mess. I hate having to clean up the mess, and so to be able to go to playgroup and have them like
do the mess
have a
there.
sensory table and all the like slime
Yeah.
and like painting, and
We
I was like,
can
go
do that
for
there,
it!
and then we can go home to our not clean house, but
not covered in paint,
not with
and
paint.
sparkles and
yeah.
yeah,
Totally
and I
hear you.
don't feel guilty over that.
It's good.
And then you like send them to school and their teachers do that for you.
Yeah.
I'm not that teacher.
You can do science, though. You do science experiments.
I try.
Yeah.
I try.
That's good.
So, anyways.
So what do you think? Was that a good first time?
I think so. It was good.
I think
I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. We're just going to meet up every other week or something?
Something like that, yeah.
We'll
just
figure it
depending
out.
on church commitments and different things like that. But so if you have questions, you can let us know. We'd
Send
love
them
to discuss them, and not that we are experts by any means, but we're real and we're honest and we are what we are.
It's true. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Mom Talk.
Yeah. Have a great night.
Bye.